Hey guys, welcome to the team call. Tonight we're going to be talking about leadership and how you can become a better leader. My name is Sarah Tri. For those of you that don't know me, I am the founder of Team Triceps, and we are coming up on our 4th year in business. That will be December 21st of 2011 is when I first signed up as a coach. So 4 years strong. Crazy, huh? So Adam and I are traveling the country in our fifth wheel camper right now, if you don't know. And we have been super spoiled because we've been staying in San Diego the last month in all of October. We were in San Diego. And we just moved from San Diego to Parker, Arizona. And today we left Parker, Arizona, where it was 80 degrees warm and sunny. And now we are in Flagstaff, Arizona, where it is cold, rainy, and hailing on us. So we are cozied up in this camper and running the heat and the fire, and hopefully we'll stay warm all night. But we were not expecting winter to be upon us. We'd like to turn around and go back to San Diego, to be honest. But we do get to see the Grand Canyon, which hopefully we are going to take a train to go see that on Thursday, I believe. So anyways, I just want to say welcome. If you're a new coach to Team Triceps, I'm so glad that you're on the call and that you're investing in yourself and that you are being part of the team. For everybody that's on the call, I'd love for you to say hi in the chat box to the right and just introduce yourself and just tell us whatever you want to tell us about your day, about your business, about where you live, the best thing that's happened to you today, anything, share with us. But today we're going to talk about being a better leader. And really, most of this message is going to be about the example that you set and really being the example for your team and the people that follow you. So I want to ask you, are you the kind of leader that you would follow? If you looked in the mirror and saw what you were doing, the actions that you were taking to build your business or to be a healthier person, would you follow yourself? Would you look to you and say, yeah, I want to follow that person? And if the answer is not a yes, then you've got to work on your leadership skills. You've got to work on being a better example. And maybe the answer isn't yes because your confidence just isn't there yet. But by being an example and by taking action and building your business and showing others that it's possible, it'll build confidence because action breeds confidence. So let's see who's all checking in. Matt from Philly, what's up, Matt? You're striving for diamond by end of year? Yes. How close are you, Matt? Are you getting there? Sherry, Becky's on. Awesome. So hot in Florida. I bet it is. Sounds good. Oh, salmon, blackened salmon. That does sound good. No, he's having connective issues. Um, look at yourself first, right? So look at yourself. Are people, like, would I follow myself? And if the answer is no, I would not follow myself, then this call is really going to resonate with you. And I really want you to take a lot away from this call and not only take things away, but like implement them and work on them and make a difference in how you feel about these things. Because it's one thing to be on these calls and to hear all of this stuff, but it's a completely different thing to actually do something and implement it and become a better leader. That's the hard part. And that's how you become a better leader, is by doing, you know? So we all know that being a leader, you have to really show a vision. You know, you have to show people where you're going and why you're doing this. That's why we talk a lot about share what you're doing as a coach, share what it feels like to be a coach, share the positive things that have changed your life because of coaching. When you share that, people see the vision, people see why you're doing it, and people see where you're going. So we need to communicate that vision. Of course, we need to communicate that, but we also have to understand that that vision or where we're going. You know, when we think about our vision and our dream life and where we want to go, we have this vision in our head, but we know that it takes a lot of work to get there. I always knew that I wanted to live a life of freedom, doing whatever I want when I wanted. I never really knew what that looked like. And here we are living in an RV, traveling the country. So I guess that's what that looks like for us. I didn't really know exactly what that looked like, but I knew the concept of that vision, and I knew the work that had to be put forth to get here. I knew that I had to bust my hump to make this happen. I knew that I had to work really hard. I knew that I had to put in the hours to get here today. Okay, so you've got to know that, and you've got to understand the work the vision's going to. Said something that Jeannie Spooler told me about today. He said, I've worked my whole life to be an overnight success. That's a quote of somebody's, but Josh said that in one of his leadership calls. And it's so true. People think that you're an overnight success when you do have success, but really the truth is that it's taken a long time to get there. Nobody is an overnight success. Nobody. It takes hard work to get to have success and to get to anything worthwhile. So I'm going to share a little bit about my journey to here in a little bit, but I just kind of wanted to make that clear that you've got to understand that there is a lot of work that goes behind getting to that vision, and that you've got to understand and be willing to do that work. But above all of that, in order to be a good leader, you have to model that work. You have to model what that vision is. You have to be an example for people, okay? You have to make the change yourself. You have to do things that are going to make people want to do them with you, right? Like, you have to show people the work that you're doing. So let me talk a little bit about my story. I know I don't share this enough, and I should share it more, but I started off just like you. I started as a brand new baby coach on December 21st of 2011. I started as a discount coach just because I wanted to get in shape and I wanted to feel better about my body. Adam actually bought the challenge pack for me for Christmas. And we started drinking Shakeology and doing P90X, and we were getting up at 3:45 a.m. every freaking morning because Adam had to work super early and he had a long commute. So that was the only time that we could get it done. And we were the example. We did it and we made it happen. And that was a lot of work. But we knew where we were going, and we had the vision, and we put in the work, and we were the example. But beyond that, as I started getting results with P90X and Shakeology, I started realizing that I really loved this company and I really wanted to pay it forward. And ever since I realized that, I've never stopped working to build this business and to help other people build their business. Never once. So during that whole first year, or the first 10 months that I was a coach, I was working a full-time job. I was working at State Farm Insurance Companies in Bloomington, Illinois, and I was trying to balance it all. I was trying to figure it out. I was trying to figure out, gosh, I love this so much and I want to do this full-time, but I'm not making enough money yet, but I don't want to stay in my full-time job. So it was this constant struggle to figure it all out. Well, Adam and I decided to move to Wisconsin and quit our jobs, and I was going to go Beachbody full-time. When we moved up to Wisconsin, my Beachbody salary was maybe an average of $300 to $400 a week. So we took a significant pay cut, and we were lucky. We had a good amount of savings, and Adam got a job, not a very high-paying job, but he got a job when we were in Wisconsin, and we just made a lot of sacrifices, and we struggled a lot, but I never stopped working. And I remember very clearly that year in 2013, that was really the year that changed my whole business. I just worked. I mean, I literally worked all day and all night, just reaching out to people and talking to people and just showing people what was possible. I didn't really get traction in my business until 2013. I was an unshaky diamond all of 2012. I mean, I think I hit diamond in May of 2012, and for the rest of 2012, I was an unstable, shaky diamond. Okay, so in 2013, I knew that I had to dig deep, and I knew that since I was full-time, I had to dig in, and I had no choice. I had to do this because I wanted to realize our vision of financial freedom and time freedom. So I worked really, really hard for it, and I was the example. I was a product of the product. I was reading personal development every single day. I was reading affirmations to myself of what I wanted my life to be like. And of course, I was talking to people, and I was inviting people, and I was forming people. I don't know if you know this, but in 2013, every single week, I did a business opportunity webinar call. Every single week. I just knew that I had to get myself in front of people, whether they were on my team already or not. Those business opportunity calls were really inspiring for people, and I just had to do them every single week. It forced me to get out of my comfort zone, and it honestly made me so comfortable talking about this opportunity that I could whip off that business opportunity right now if I wanted to. Did you also know that I just hit 41 months at Success Club? That's right, Ozzy. That's a good deal. That's a big deal. So 41 months at Success Club. Hey, shh. And it's not Success Club 10 or Success Club 20. It's Success Club 5. And yeah, I hit 10 a lot. I hit 5 a lot. But the point is that I've always put in the work, and I've never, ever stopped working. In 2013, I hit Success Club 10 every single year. That was like my big push in 2013. 2014, I was really close to hitting it. And 2015 has been kind of iffy with all the travel. I've mostly been hitting Success Club 5 this year. But regardless, the work is still there, and the work is consistent in my drive to be an example to you guys, to the team, is fresh on my mind always. Always. Okay? So I'm just going to check the chat box. Okay, good. Everybody's checking in. Good. So you guys, when I talk about being an example, I want, a lot of you guys are parents, right? Like a lot of you have kids, or you have nieces and nephews. What do kids do when you say something or do something? They do exactly what you do. Like no matter what it is, no matter what you tell them to do, they're going to do what you do, not what you say, right? So take that into your business and say, if I want my coaches to build their business and I want to see them be successful, how do I show that? So again, being a product of the product, that's huge. If you're not getting results, why would anybody want to follow your journey? Why would anybody want to purchase Shakeology from you if you are not sharing your results or getting results? You've got to be a product of the product. So share that. Like share it on your team page, share it on your personal page, in not a salesy way, but just a way that says, hey, this stuff is legit and it's working for me. I did my workout today and I drank my Shakeology. And I feel like every day I'm becoming a healthier person. Share that everywhere so that people know that you're being the example. Inviting, informing. You need to show your team what you're doing on a daily basis. I was just talking to Brittany Powers earlier today. We were talking about what is she doing to sponsor so many coaches, because that girl has been on fire in a hot dash to hit top 10 this year. And we were talking, I was like, she was saying that she doesn't really have a system. And I'm like, Britt, you have a system. You just need to write it out. Like write out exactly what you do from start to finish. What is it that you do when you talk to a coach for the first time or a prospect for the first time? What do you do? What do you send them? What do you say? What questions do you ask? We all have a system. Start recognizing that system and writing it down and sharing it with your team. Like, I don't know if you guys saw my post in Team Triceps today, but I just posted a quick little thing about Sneak Peek Week. That's kind of, it's not the full system, but it's just a little tidbit of what I do to create my Sneak Peek Week. The rest of it, you guys can fill in and use your creativity for that. And then, of course, personal development. You have to be reading every single day. I'm not kidding when I say this, you guys. When I don't read or when I don't surround myself by positive energy or positive messages, I am not a positive person. I find all of this negativity everywhere. And when you are surrounded by positivity, all you see is positivity. But when you're surrounded by negativity, you tend to gravitate towards negative thinking. And I shouldn't say that when you're surrounded by negativity, because I'm not surrounded by negativity. But negative things tend to creep in, and those voices creep in, and those doubters and those naysayers creep in when we're not surrounded by good books and podcasts and team calls and stuff like this that's going to fill our soul and fill our cup, right? So you've got to be doing personal development. And whenever you do personal development, share about it. Use what you read as inspiration to share with your team or with your challenge groups. It all applies. So share that. Share it on your social media. There's so many good things that come from personal development books that you can share. It's great content. Every time I read a good chapter, I'm highlighting, taking notes, and presenting that somewhere. Like this call is all based out of one chapter from the 21, the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Yeah, that's what it's called. Okay. So let's see, let me turn my page here. So I want to read you guys a quote from this book, John C. Maxwell. He says, "Too many leaders are like bad travel agents. They send people places they've never been. Instead, they should be more like tour guides, taking people places they have gone and sharing the wisdom of their own experiences." People want to know where you've been. People want to know what you've been through to get to where you are. People want to know that there's struggle. People want to know that they're not alone in the struggle. Because let's be honest, building this business is not easy. You have to be really tough up here to make this work. So I'm telling you, I struggled and I continue to struggle, okay? So here's another thing that we need to think about. In order to be the best example that you can be, you must first hold yourself to the highest standard. So if you're at a place of employment, say you work somewhere and you have a boss that shows up late every single day, what do you think you're going to do? You're most likely going to be like, well, if he's late, I'm going to show up late because he's never going to know that I'm late, or he's not going to ever say anything to me because he's late, so I can be late. Right? So if you're not holding yourself to a high standard, if you're not doing the things that you're expecting your team to do, you can't expect them to do them. Just like if you're the boss and you're coming in late, you can't expect your people to be on time. That's called an asshole. That's called a bad boss, right? So here's what's happened to me over the last couple months. The travel has been amazing, but it's also been a really good learning experience for me. So I was feeling, in the first part of our trip, I was really feeling like I wasn't getting enough work done. And I have this constant struggle between, I want balance in life, but I also want to work because I love this. But for me, a lot of times it's all or nothing. It's I'm all in and I'm on my computer working with people all day, or I'm not having fun and I'm not doing any of it. So it's sometimes hard for me to find the balance. So I decided that I needed to do, this was after leadership. It was suggested to me to do like a 3-hour power hour where I focus and I just got the things get done for had concrete work done for the day. So it's always like a learning experience, but you really do need to hold yourself to a higher standard. Okay. So I had another quote here. Let's see. My standards of excellence should be higher for myself than those I set for others. To remain a credible leader, I must always work first, hardest, and longest on changing myself. This is neither easy nor natural, but it is essential. It's true. I am constantly learning. I'm constantly in check with myself about where I need to go and what I need to do for myself and for the balance of life, right? I am always checking that and always seeing where I need to be and what I need to do. Okay, so the last point I want to make is an interesting one. This one took me a while to wrap my head around, but as I read more into this, I really liked it. And it's that leadership is caught, not taught. And you catch leadership, you catch it in your hand and you learn it and you hold on to it by watching other leaders. So who are you catching your leadership from? If you guys want to share in the chat box, I really want to know, who do you watch as a leader that you look up to, that you're learning from all the time? So I just want to share with you guys who I've learned from over the years. I caught how to work hard no matter what from Christine Dwyer, from being in her boot camps. I caught how to value and protect my time and work smarter from Chalene Johnson, listening to her podcasts and being in many of her programs. I caught intensity and passion from Barbie Decker at my very first summit. And that summit was back in 2012. I caught encouragement from Julie Voris on my first Success Club trip to Disney World. I caught truly being myself and being authentic to who I am from Amy Silverman when we went to Belize. So who are you learning from? Who are you looking up to and learning from that's a good example for you to follow? And if your upline is not a good example to follow, it's not their fault. They're just not ready to be that example and to build this business. You always have me. You always have other uplines to look up to. You have the entire Beachbody network to look up to and to follow as a good example. Ultimately, you guys, we lead a volunteer army. People have to pay to join our team. It's really, truly a volunteer army. So if we are not showing the way and getting the results that we need to be, why in the world would anybody volunteer to be with us, to do this with us? So ask yourself that every day. And, am I doing the things that I need to be doing to lead my team, that I would expect my team to be doing? Awesome. Thanks for checking in with the leaders. That's really good. Lauren Clissy, Amy Silverman, Gary Vanderchuck, John C. Maxwell, Josh Coates, Adria Sullivan, Sarah Pollard, Scotty Hobbs. Awesome. Good stuff. All great leaders. So the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is November. And the fact that November is a tough month. Like, November is really, really hard. And I will tell you that you should give yourself a huge pat on the back or treat yourself with something tonight for being on this call, because as the holidays approach, people fall off all the time. Don't do it. Don't fall off, because this business is all about momentum. And every time you send an invite, every time you talk to one new person, every time you meet a new person at the grocery store, you're building momentum in your business. You take a week off of that, you take a month off of that because of the holidays, you lose all of the momentum that you have built up into this point. Do not lose that momentum. No matter how much you hate the month of November, no matter how many people are ignoring you or telling you no, stick to it. Stick at it. Keep that momentum going. Here's why. This is my 4th season in this time frame, in this area, my 4th November. And here's what happens. People are going to ignore you. They're going to tell you no, but they will be ready to say yes come January. They will be ready to make a change come January. And if you have not been talking to them or messaging them or telling them about what you do as a coach, are they going to come to you in January? No, they're going to go to the local gym and probably get no results at all. So you need to be up in their face about what you can do to help them, even if they say no, even if they ignore you, because they are going to remember you come January. This is also a really, really good time to get people on your team because they can take the next month, the next 2 months to really learn what they need to do to become a Beachbody coach, like what they need to do to become successful. They're going to get their feet wet. They're going to learn how to run a challenge group. They're going to get some results. They're going to see a little momentum themselves. And then comes January, that's when people say yes. So people say yes in January probably close to 80% more than they would say yes any other time of the year. So it's a great time for new coaches to come on now because they're going to see really good success come January. They're going to see momentum building come January. Not to mention we have Hammer and Chisel coming out in December, which I'm super excited about. Is anybody else getting excited about that? That is going to help build the momentum. So get through November, kick butt with the Fall Classic, work with your teams. I love the team of 3 because it just, I don't know, there's something about the power of 3 that really just brings it all together. I feel really good about that. But anyways, I hope that you guys do not lose momentum. Take my word for it to keep going no matter what through November because that momentum will do so much for you over the next 2 months. So I'm just going to check the chat box one more time. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But otherwise, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so, so much for being on the team call tonight. I've had, it was a great time. So thanks so much for being here, and we will see you next week. Bye, guys.